Good evening. Hello. Good evening, lovely, lovely people. I hope you're well. Really nice to have you. Really nice to see you. Thank you so much for agreeing to have me in your homes yet again for another live. I hope you've had a good 2 weeks so far. Hopefully you've had a good 2 weeks, 2 productive weeks, hopefully. If you're in the UK, I hope you've managed to make use of a bit of the sunshine that we've had. I know it's not going to last, so make the most of it if you can. If you live in any other country, I'm sure you've had much better weather than we have. So I hope you're all well. I must apologize for not being available last week. I had a family emergency, but that's all done and dusted, and so I'm here ready with you lovely people again for another live session. I hope you're all well. Thank you for all of you for your lovely comments. Before we continue, hi Bingo Talk, thanks for joining. Before we continue, are there any doctors here amongst us, doctors who live in the UK? Is there anybody here right now who is a doctor living and practicing in the UK? I'd love to know if you're a doctor. I have a question for you. It's not a medical question, don't worry. It's not a medical question at all. It's just that I want to know if there are any doctors who live and practice here in the UK. Anybody? I'll wait. My husband is a doctor. Okay, so I've got one person here. I'm a nurse. Shahrzad, you might be able to help me even. Okay, lovely. So I just have a question for you because I want to know what you guys think. I just want to know what you guys think. Recently in the UK, the Prime Minister of the UK, Rishi Sunak, he has said that he's going to, I think he said he's going to get rid of, excuse me, the sick note for everybody, whoever needs the sick note. And he basically wants to get people back into work as soon as possible. He came out with some statistics. He said that in 2011, 20% of the UK workforce were on sick notes. Today, 2024, he said 65% of the workforce in the UK are currently on sick notes. And he's saying that the statistics are correct, but that is wrong. There shouldn't be such a huge proportion of the workforce on sick notes, okay? And he's saying that we need to get rid of sick notes, and we should try and give the people who are not fit and healthy other alternatives for them to get back into work. My question is, do you agree with what he's saying? Because I know a lot of doctors and nurses here don't agree with what he said, but I just want to know what you think. You who are, here and you're working here, what do you think? If you're a nurse, if you're a doctor, I know a nurse can't give a sick note, but still, what's your opinion on this? I'd love to hear that. So a sick note, while I'm listening for people to respond, a sick note, currently in the UK, if you have to take time off work because of health reasons, if you take anything less than 5 days, you don't need a sick note. If you take 5 days or more off work, I think legally the employer has to have a sick note from the doctor. And a sick note is basically either a form or a letter to come from your GP just to prove Layla can't come to work because she is sick because of this health issue. So it's basically just a kind of document that you prove to your employer. You're not sitting home watching Netflix and eating, popcorn. You're actually sick and you've got a letter from your GP to prove it. Okay, let's see what Shahrzad says. I agree with it because NHS pay up to 6 months sickness. So some take advantage of this. Right. 6 months of being sick. However, does that person need 6 months off? I don't know. Some I mean, some illnesses, they take a fortnight, yeah, 2 weeks, they take a fortnight. Some, yeah, issues, obviously, they take longer, right? Govaye Pizishki, thank you. Sick note is a sick leave certificate given for attending hospital and not attending office or study. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. I work in the Middle East. This is from Massa. And even for a day, we need a sick note, which is ridiculous. Wow, even for one day, you need a sick note. That's a lot, isn't it? Just for one day. Your doctors, the GPs and doctors mustn't be happy about that, must they? I don't think the percentage is accurate. Okay, it means that on average, more people who do work around me should be on sick leave, which is not the case. I know none. Right. Okay. Right. Not really. 6 months isn't needed. Right. This is lovely that you're getting back to me. Thank you so much. I think it's a very good idea, and it's because the employers recently tend to be away from work and get paid. So this should relate to employers as well as staff. Okay. Okay. Let's see. In France, oops, I've got the wrong one. In France, it's essential for any employee to take even one day. If you have health issues, you need to take a day off if you've got health issues. Very good. You're very lucky. Right. I kept working with a broken hand, didn't ask for a sick note, and live in the UK. Wow, working with a broken hand. That can't be easy, can it? Well done to you. I hope that your hand is better now. Hopefully it's recovered. Yep. In Turkey, it's the same. Every one day you need sick notes. Wow. No, I don't live in London. Okay. Some people exaggerate. Yeah, some people exaggerate, obviously. I do know that there are people, I do know this, obviously. You know, you talk to people and you do get a sense that there are people, and I'm not talking about any specific nationality. This is across the board. Across the board, I'm going to write this down to put it in the caption in YouTube. Across the board, that means all different nationalities, all types of people, all backgrounds, across the board in general. I know that across the board, there are people, unfortunately, who, like we had a comment a few minutes ago, they do take advantage of these sick notes, and they might not be that sick. They do take the sick notes, they do get sick pay, they do get extra days off, treatment. And I've even heard that some of them, even though they get sick notes, they still work somewhere else and get paid under the table, kind of like secretly get paid under the table. Get paid under the table, which is wrong. If you've got a sick note, that means you're sick. You need to stay in bed, right? So I do know a lot of people do take advantage of this system, but the majority of people, I'd like to think, they really need that sick note. I don't know. I worked in Germany, and last week I fell ill, and my professor requested that I provide a sick note to the university as proof of my absence. It's the same for university as well, isn't it? Not just for work. Yeah. Sick note for corona. In Iran, more than 3 days, you have to show a sick note. Okay. In Sweden, after a week. Yeah, so that's the same as the UK. Okay, thank you very much. Just because some people take advantage of this step, they scrap it. I disagree. Yeah. It's not a shame. It's not. It's a shame, isn't it? It's not fair on a lot of people. I'm just going to scroll through. Thank you. It's not fair on those people who truly need sick notes. Now, this statistic that he came up with, he said in 2011, there were only 20% of people who needed sick notes. Today, 65% of the workforce need sick notes. He thinks this is rubbish. I was going to say another word. He says this is rubbish. He says that's not right and it shouldn't happen. But I don't know what you think if you live in the UK. Have you also seen people really struggling financially? And I guess this happens everywhere, all over the place. I've seen, for example, kids going to school with really, really worn and torn shoes. I've seen people in supermarkets with a list. Very rarely did I see people with lists. Today, I've seen so many people with lists for shopping, and they stick to their list religiously. religiously. That's an idiom. They stick to their list religiously, which means if there is an item that they want, they can't get it if it's not on their list. They are sticking to their list religiously. They're not stepping out of that list purely because they have a set budget and they can't afford any more. Excuse me. So this gives us an idea of the dire situation, which is very difficult situation that people are in. And under these circumstances, I'm thinking people are suffering from mental health, from stress, and just going to work every day will not help. So they might need sick note. And someone said up to 6 months, people might need sick note, you know, for mental health, which might take a bit longer to get better. So I can see a whole mixture of ideas and opinions. Thank you. I appreciate each and every one of your opinions. I mean, where does this statistic come from? That's a good question. He just came up with the stats. I don't know. I'm guessing one of his ministers must have given him the statistics. I do know, you may have heard, and this is more recent, that I think it's one of the MPs, Wazir, yeah? One of the MPs of the Conservative Party has left and they've decided to join the Labour Party because that MP also, who is a doctor, he's a doctor himself, he's saying that the NHS is in such a mess right now. He's a doctor himself and he says, I can't look my patients in the eye. I can't look my colleagues in the eye. The NHS is in such a mess. And the Conservative Party, they're just not doing as much as they can with the NHS. It should be much, much better than this. Over this, he's actually changed his party. He's moved from Conservative to Labour. This doesn't happen very often. MP, it means Member of Parliament. Member of Parliament. Thank you, which is, I think in Farsi we say Wazir. Yeah. Okay. So, absolutely, Member of Parliament. Yes. Okay. Let's see. I'm very wary. Oh, hi, Atifir. Thanks for joining. Let's see. Let's have Reza. I don't know, but somebody said to me the other day, what people in your life? So let's see how it goes. Okay. Absolutely true. NHS is such a mess. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is in such a mess. Absolutely. Okay, that person I asked him to join is not here. Okay, never mind. Okay, right, so let's go to tonight's lesson. Tonight's lesson we're going to be looking at, yes, Atafa is here as well, very good. I'm not going to ask her too many questions because I don't want to distract people, but I am very, very honoured that Atafa and Bingo Talk and lots of lovely, really, really experienced, fantastic teachers are here with me, joining me in this live. I really feel honoured. Thank you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the comments off, if that's okay. We can go through a few sarcastic comments and then I'll come back to you again. Okay, so don't go anywhere. Yeah. Right, turn off comments. I hope that's okay. Right. Tonight I'm going to be talking about being sarcastic. If you live in the UK, you might be familiar with this. If you have watched the series Friends, which I think lots of people know, there is one character in this series of Friends who is very, very, very sarcastic, and that's Chandler. Chandler, bless him, Chandler, who actually passed away. I think it was this year or last year he passed away, unfortunately. Huge, talented actor, very, very good. His character was very sarcastic in Friends. As you saw, he made jokes of any situation, and that's what we mean by sarcasm. If you have a difficult situation, something is difficult or it's a difficult situation, we do tend to make fun of that situation. Sometimes we make fun of ourselves, sometimes we make fun of the situation. You might even have people making fun of you, okay, if it's being sarcastic, but usually they don't mean it in a negative way. Usually it's just being sarcastic, and it's okay if we are sarcastic with each other. If I am sarcastic with you, if you're sarcastic with me, that means I joke about you, you joke about me. At the end of it, everybody laughs. We're not laughing at a specific person, we're laughing about the situation. So this isn't like mocking or making fun of somebody. This is joking about that difficult situation that you are in or I'm in. Okay, let's have an example. And usually sarcasm is between people about a system, about a company, a business, the government. It's usually between us when we all agree that we don't like something about the system or a business or whatever. We can also use it for people as well. And if you use it for people, it's usually informal. Let's say, I don't know, I've got a friend who's come and joined, who's come to my house. I've got a colleague who's entered the office or entered the place of work, and they look really down. They're really miserable. They're really down and they're in a mood. And this is the comment that I say, and it's sarcastic. Aren't you just a ray of sunshine? A ray. Aren't you just a ray of sunshine? Aren't you just a ray of sunshine? Someone who is a ray of sunshine is someone who has a smile on their face. Their face looks like they are the sun. They're very happy and they make everybody else around them happy as well. That's what we mean by she is a ray of sunshine. That means she is happy and she makes everybody else around her happy as well. Now, if you want to be sarcastic with someone who isn't happy at all, they're very moody, very down, and they're starting to affect other people as well, we use the sarcastic comment, aren't you just a ray of sunshine? Aren't you just a ray of sunshine? That means, wow, you're so happy and you're making everybody else happy. Yay. Can you see in my tone of voice, my body language? Usually we keep the tone of voice and the face quite neutral when we say this. Okay, so aren't you just a ray of sunshine? Wow, it's a good job that you came. You're making everybody happy. Yay. Obviously we don't mean it that way. We mean it in the negative way because this person is not happy at all. Okay. Another example. Let's say, I don't know, I desperately need, this actually happened, I desperately needed some form of painkiller for one of the kids, and it was on a Saturday evening. In my mind, I thought that supermarkets are open 24 hours, even on a Saturday, and I was wrong. Previously, before COVID, they were open 24 hours, weren't they? But I turned up at a supermarket and they were just about to close, and I desperately needed that painkiller for one of the kids. And the security at the door said, sorry, we're closed, you can't come in. And I said, yeah, great. This is my sarcastic comment. That's just what I need. That's just what I need. Now, I'm making fun of this situation. It's a difficult situation for me. I desperately need that painkiller for my daughter, and I need that supermarket to be open for me to go and get it. Now that I'm desperate for that painkiller, that supermarket is now closing its doors. That is the last thing that I need. I need that supermarket to be open, but I'm making fun of the situation. Oh, fantastic. That's just what I need. That's just what I need. So I'm using this in the situation to show I'm so disappointed. I'm so upset. Oh, shoot. I wish I was here 10 minutes earlier. That's just what I need. That's just what I need. Which means, I'm thinking to myself, I am so unlucky. Why has this happened to me? Oh, fantastic. That's just what we need. That kind of thing. I'm going to come back to you just to make sure if everyone's okay up to now. So aren't you just a ray of sunshine? Someone walks in and they're really down and really moody, and they start affecting everybody else as well in a negative mood. And instead of us saying, why, what's wrong? What's going on? Are you okay? Instead of being serious, we can be sarcastic. Aren't you just a ray of sunshine? Yay, I'm so happy that you're here. It's a sarcastic comment. Okay. همین رو کم داشتم. Thank you. That's just what I needed. Lovely, lovely. So comedians are ray of sunshine. Yes. So that's what I need. That's just what I need. We add the word just to add a little bit more emphasis to it. Yeah, that's just what I needed. Very good. Very good. Lovely. Okay. Sarcastic. Sarcastic, please. Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm going to go to the third one. Now, the third one, I hope nobody's eating anything right now. I hope you're not having food. Let's say, for example, you're eating and it's the human body, somebody has got an issue, they've got something horrible happening with their skin, or something happens to their body that we don't want to see it while we're eating, or we're watching TV while we're eating and suddenly we see something on TV that makes you feel bad. You're actually eating food here. You don't want to see that. Usually what we would say is, oh, change the channel, or oh my God, don't show me, I'm eating. That's usually what we would say. But if we want to be sarcastic, we will say, very appetizing. When something is appetizing, it gives you appetite. That means you want to eat more. You love food and you want to eat more. This is making fun of that situation. It happened actually a few years ago. Then they stopped it on TV in the morning at around 9:30 in the morning. This is usually when a lot of people are sitting at home. Those people who are at home, they're sitting home with their bowl of cereal, they're having their breakfast while they're watching something on TV in the morning. And it was around 9 o'clock in the morning. I remember I was just coming back from school. I dropped the kids off at school. It was around 9 o'clock in the morning, and I know a lot of people are having breakfast at that time. On TV, they were showing horrible things happening to people's body. They were advertising a special kind of cream, and they were showing horrible things happening to people's fingers and toenails and horrible things that you don't want to see this when you're having breakfast. So that would be the perfect time to say, very appetizing. Oh my God, which means that's disgusting. Oh my goodness, change the channel. Yeah. So to be sarcastic, we say very appetizing. Very appetizing. You might be in the middle of eating and someone starts explaining something horrible to you, medical condition or something that puts you off your food, and you say, well, very appetizing. So again, that's a sarcastic comment. Okay. The last one that I'm going to share, and I absolutely love this one, and I use it a lot, and lots of British people, lots of British people use this. You might not hear this in America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, in Europe. You might not hear this in other English speaking countries a lot, but we use it a lot in the UK. And that is when you're having a really difficult day at work, you've got a lot on, and you just want to tell somebody that this is really difficult. Oh, I can't wait for the weekend. This is what you want to try and say. The sarcastic comment is this: living the dream. Living the dream. This is my dream. Obviously, it's very sarcastic, isn't it? This is not your dream. This is a nightmare. This is so difficult. It's so hard. You can't wait for it to finish. You can't wait for the weekend. You can't wait to go home because you're having a difficult day. But to be sarcastic, we're saying, living the dream. Are you living the dream with me? That kind of thing. It's very sarcastic. And when we're being sarcastic, we're making fun of the situation, and usually the other person gets it too, and they might add their own sarcastic comment as well. The reason why I wanted to share this with you tonight was because we're extremely sarcastic. And I've had a few messages from people that have said, Layla, somebody at work said this, and it's a sarcastic comment. I don't understand because that didn't happen. Why did that person say that? And so I realized that this is something that I do need to share with people. I do need to share with people that, yeah, we can be very, very sarcastic. We try to be sarcastic with like the establishment, company, business, whatever, and we are on the side of the people. Hello, what's your name, please? No? Okay. Nobody wants to come and talk to me. Okay. Yes. So that is the whole idea of sarcasm. We are hugely sarcastic in the UK culture. If you live in the UK, I'm sure you've come across some kind of sarcastic comment. You might even use sarcasm yourself. It's very well received. Sarcasm is something that everybody uses. We use it especially in difficult situations, in situations that are not pleasant. They are very welcome in difficult situations. So if it's something that you want to use, do feel free to use it, you know. And the more difficult the situation, the funnier the comment, basically. That's what it is. Okay. Lovely, very good. So that was just a few examples of a few sarcastic comments that we make, and hopefully you found it useful. Your voice is not clear. Right, I'm sorry, I think that might be the internet, I'm not sure. So I hope that you found that session useful. That was just a few sarcastic things. I do want you to um, get back to me. Do send me comments if you like. If there's any specific thing you'd like me to talk about or to address in next week's live, please do send me a comment. Layla, can you talk about this? Layla, can you know, discuss this? Why do people do this? Anything like that. I would much prefer if it was not related to grammar, because grammar is something that you can learn in grammar books and stuff. I would much prefer if it was something related to maybe the culture, or something about the English language itself that you can't find the answer easily anywhere else, and I will try and see if I can help. Obviously, I don't have all the answers myself, but I'll try as much as possible to help. Okay? Thank you very much for joining me, everybody. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. This will be saved. It'll be saved on my YouTube channel, and I will share the link in a story later this evening. Thank you very much to all those people who signed up for the grammar course. We started an advanced grammar course tonight. If you still want to join, it's not late. Tonight we just got to know each other. It was a bit of an introduction. The actual course starts tomorrow. People will start learning the lesson, and then every Sunday, 5 o'clock UK time, we get together online and we go through the grammar of that lesson. When I go through the grammar with you, of that lesson, the advanced grammar, this is when people have questions, either their own questions about the lesson, or they have questions about my lesson itself. And it's lovely that I teach new idioms, I teach a little bit about the culture, and hopefully that will help people if they want to use the grammar, you know, in their everyday life situations. The grammar course is on my website. It's advanced grammar that I'm talking about. Advanced grammar. The lessons are taught in a mixture of English and Farsi. So you will have Farsi on the course as well. It's 10 weeks, and it mainly focuses on one step higher than the basic grammar. So in the advanced grammar course, you will learn tag questions, which is the first lesson. We use tag questions a lot. It's a cultural thing that we do. You will learn verbs that are followed by gerunds and infinitives, because I know that's a problem. You will learn about mixed conditionals that we use a lot, not just the typical full conditionals, mixed conditionals. You will learn about more advanced passive voice that you can use in your speaking, perfect for the IELTS or TOEFL exam, and also used in any kind of formal writing that you want to do, emails, reports, letters, anything like that. So that's what the advanced grammar is about. Okay, if you're interested, it's not too late. You can still go on and join. Thank you so much. Private classes, unfortunately, I don't have any space right now. If you are interested, leave me your details in the comments, and I'll put you down on the waiting list. With private lessons, as soon as a student leaves, then that session becomes available, and I will call you if you're on the waiting list. Until then, unfortunately, there are no spaces. Okay. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care. Good night.